So here we are again for another podcast, and today we have the Wild Stag Treehouse. So welcome, guys.
Hi.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Lee.
No worries.
Cheers.
Thank you for taking a day on this sunny Sunday. It's a beautiful day outside. I've got sunburn on my face, as you can see. How have you guys been? Have you been out in the sun? What have you been doing? Or you just been?
It's actually really forecast. It's forecast over here. So with it being a Sunday, I went for a little nature walk this morning with the kids and the family, just to get it out of the way and done. Get them out. They're feral when you don't take them for a walk. They're little kids, so got them out for a little while. And to be honest, I needed to get away from the screen as well. If I'm honest, it's just been non-stop all the time. So yeah, I needed a little break this morning.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about wild.
For me, it's just.
I'm sorry, Bun. I'm sorry, Mike. Do you want to? Sorry, I interrupted you, mate. I think there's a bit of a pause.
No, that's all right. I was just going to say, nice weather. So normal Sunday for me. Sunday lunch in the garden. You know, the usual. Good.
Right.
But yeah, so, let's talk about what we're here for.
Absolutely. So, Wild Stag Treehouse. What a name, firstly. But can you guys explain what it is?
I've lost you, Lee.
Yeah, me too.
Did you just hear that question, guys, or did it pause?
No, it froze you out,
disappeared.
mate.
Did it? Am I back now?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, cool. So I'm going to repeat the question.
Audio, yes, but visuals.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. All right, cool. So basically, don't worry about the visuals because the uploads will be all right. It will just glitch in and out every now and then. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put down for a 2-minute edit,
no worries.
And then I'll ask for question again. So that brings us on to Wild Stag Treehouse. What a great name, firstly, but what the hell is it?
Okay, I'll take it. So what we are is we're a Green Initiative NFT project. We are launching on the greenest blockchain, the XRPL, and we have some plans in the works of. We want to be the greenest NFT project out there. So every NFT that's sold, we have a partner of planting trees with all around the world as a charity. So we're going to be planting trees with every sale. And the long-term goal for us is to build a club and buy real land and build actual accommodation tree houses for community members to stay in. The one thing that is just driving us the most is that, I mean, in my life, I have 2 kids, and the way the world is at the moment, it's all, and especially crypto, it's just all focused on technology and screens and VR headsets and fake worlds like the meta world, the meta universe and stuff like that. And we want to kind of like pause that for a moment and bring people back to what's actually real in the world and bring people back into nature and stop people from walking at lampposts while they're reading their phone and actually get their families out into nature and just have a really good time.
Yeah, I couldn't put it better, really. Like, we are all about the world that's around us, and instead of being immersed in the digital world, immersing ourselves in the physical world. And it doesn't matter if you're in a jungle or if you're in the concrete jungle. We just want to remind people that, life is for living. Yeah. And the metaverse is amazing. And we will probably find ourselves in there eventually as well. But for now, we just want people to pause, take a step back and, see their wives, see their children, see their husband, and just really get back to what's important. And we feel that by creating this club or community and creating these tree houses in these most picturesque locations and inviting our club members to be able to come and stay in these locations, it's what life is all about. And that's what we're about. We want, yeah.
I love it.
essentially.
I absolutely love it because for me, there's the kids of nowadays are on their Xbox, on their PlayStations a lot of time, right? They come into school. I remember when I come home from school, right? The rule was you come home, you throw your bag in, and then you would stay out until the street lights come on, and that was when it was time to come home, right?
Yeah.
So basically, lots of fresh air, lots of energy, etc., etc., right? But the kids of nowadays, because I think the security aspects of a child being out and about by themselves, because I think the security risks are highly more publicised now than what they were when we were children, right? So you do see these kids getting boxed in within their rooms, right? And within these kind of fake environments. And then obviously like Instagram, where you've got kids pretending that they've got this fantastic life and they're all beautiful, where they're obviously changing their faces and stuff like that. It's fake, right? And they're living fake lives.
Yeah.
So it's nice to bring it back to reality, where the whole core of what life should be about is quality time with the family, right? And it's about how you value time.
Yeah, it's about quality of life
as well, right? Because I value time very preciously, because you can walk across the road tomorrow and get run over and you're gone, right? And then you go, right, well, how have I kind of left my stamp on the world, and what quality time did I spend with my loved ones? So I think what you guys are doing, I think you're doing both of that. You guys as individuals are obviously putting your stamp on the world with the planting of the trees, that you're giving back to the world that gives so much to us. But also you're encouraging families to go out and enjoy that environment, right? I love the idea. I love the idea. So where did the idea initially come from? Who was the brains behind it?
So the idea...
That's actually...
the idea came. So we moved from me and my family moved, actually quite strangely. Just we had a house. It was near the school. We moved literally a 10-minute drive. So in Newcastle, you can drive 20 minutes one way. You're in the countryside, full countryside. You can drive 20 minutes the other way from the city centre, and you're at the beach. So we live in quite a very nice area. So we moved 10 minutes down the road into what's borderline in the countryside, and our lives changed to the point where it wasn't coming home from school, sitting in the house, having dinner, watching some TV, playing on games, and then going to bed. Now it's came, since we've moved here, it's sort of come home, have your dinner, we'll go for a walk. And where I live, I see deers quite regularly, so it's kind of like,
wow.
I always wanted to launch an NFT project, but when I started seeing deers, you just stop. You don't move. You don't try and speak to them or anything. You just stop and you just admire them just there in the nature, and then you move on. And it's very rare you see them here. It's very rare anybody sees them unless you live in a certain part of the world. But they're just majestic animals. So that was the reason why the stags happened, and also the antlers of the NFT just absolutely just cripples any other feature of any NFT that I've seen so far. So it was just, I think that was just the real reason why we did it. We launched it. We've got loads of cool features coming as well. Like once the tree houses are built, so we're going to be starting in the UK with building some tree houses once we secure some land after the NFT launch and the sales go through. But we've got plans, stuff like winter wonderlands, get a Santa in, have a period of time where families come down and visit Santa, and a little winter wonderland, and then you can take it into Halloween, make a little scary little forest and stuff, and invite people around. So we've got loads of ideas spinning and constantly rotating. So when we set out the roadmap for when we launch on the XRPL, then the ideas start flowing out and flowing out and flowing out. And it's kind of like, well, we've already launched the roadmap, so we'll just keep sort of certain things back a little bit and maybe push them out at a later date.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's one of those, when you're actually in control of a project and a team, right? It's really weird, that you come out with this roadmap, but the roadmap evolves with time, right? And then sometimes you're like,
absolutely.
We're going to pull that out because we're going to do this instead. And then almost it gets a bigger animal and the workload starts to grow, right?
Yeah.
What was quite key to something that you just said was we're going to build tree houses, which is great, like Centre Parks type tree houses, but a more natural feel to it. I'm assuming hand built. Me knowing your background, carpenters, right? So
myself and one of the other founders were
carpenters, right?
Yeah. So the very first treehouse will be project run and built, not just by us, but by us. Like, you know, I can't say we're going to put every single fixing in. It's a lot of work to do, but we'll definitely be there on site every day, making sure that we're doing our fair share of graft to get the tree houses built. And then because we're in the trade, we've got contacts, we can pull in the relevant tradesmen. But it's not just, the community that we're going to build through the NFTs, but it's also going to have a positive impact on the local community where the tree houses get built. It'll be local tradesmen that we'll be able to give work to. And then it'll be local people that's going to benefit from the tree houses in a work sense, that, we can then offer employment and we can offer them the quality of life that we're all striving for ourselves. It's so much bigger than just an NFT and a tree house and a winter wonderland. It's so much bigger than that.
Yeah, I mean, Lee, you might know.
Portray that is hard.
Like we've also had discussions as well about not just having the tree houses there, but you'll probably know what Go Ape is. And for any of the viewers that are not really from the UK or don't know what Go Ape is, I mean, imagine you pull up with your kids and it's got clip and climbs and it's got zip lines, it's got rope swings into lakes and stuff like that. I mean, we went out a couple of weeks ago and we built some families with ourselves just around this area. We built a platform, we climbed a tree and put like a rope that was about this thick, and we spent all day there just barbecuing and flying off the swing into the river and stuff like that. And it's kind of memories like that when my kids grow up, they'll not remember do you remember when I was playing on that game with you in the room? No, they'll remember the stuff like, you remember that time that we built that rope swing and we're flying into the river and stuff. And that's the kind of memories as our founders want to generate for families that would eventually join our club and come and stay in the tree houses.
Absolutely, I love that. But the thing is, I'm gonna 2 points, right? So if I would have built my own rope swing, I would have not tied it up properly, so I'd have smashed myself into a tree or something. Firstly. But on to a more serious note, I can see where you're going with this. So it's about creating memories for families, right? But I can see this being a bigger thing because you can bring communities together with this as well, right? So let's say it starts with the foundation of the tree house. You can have events there. You can have family events there. You can have Easter events, Christmas events, Halloween events, firework events. So and I can see what you're trying to do. You're going to be trying to take families away from, let's say, the screens to an area where they can interact, barbecues with other families, and there's kind of that community spirit within it, right?
Absolutely.
I love where you're going with this. I love where you're going with it. So let's say then I buy this NFT. That helps you fundraise to, let's say, get your first site, right? What does that NFT give me the privilege of?
So one of the first things it's going to give the privilege of is very good discounted rates to be able to stay at the treehouse. And obviously, we'd love to be able to just say, if you're an NFT holder, you could just come and stay for free. But obviously, that's not plausible for maintaining and managing the project for everybody to enjoy for years and years to come. Like, absolutely. I want to die, and these tree houses are still there, and people are passing on their NFTs to their children so that their children can take their children to go live what we've spent years building. So they're going to benefit from some pretty wicked discounts to be able to stay at these locations.
And also they'll get
obviously
they'll also get they'll get Prime over anybody else. So if you own an NFT, you'll be able to book up a slot before, let's just say, a general public member would be able to book up a slot. So they would get like Prime time booking as well.
And we've had this question a few times within our community. It's like, well, it's in the UK, but the problem, the slight problem we've got is the UK is where we live. It's where we know. We know the planning. We can work with the local planners for what bits we don't know. Architects, everything we know is UK based. Once we've got that established, then we can start looking further afield, because the project is now working for the community, which then frees up our time to go, right, where's the next location we want to look? And we want to hit all 4 corners of the world. We want to be across all 7 continents. We want to be everywhere. We want to be as accessible as possible to our community and to everyone else. So it starts here and it finishes with a spaceship going to Mars, piggybacking off Elon Musk.
No, I love the concept. I love the concept. So if you can get a treehouse on Mars, I'll be surprised. Yeah.
Me too, to be fair, but you know.
We might build the first tree there, let alone treehouse. Jesus.
Maybe. Then, well, should we start with the tree planting first? Get some oxygen on there.
Yeah, we'll start with the tree planting first, yeah.
But no, I love.
I just want to emphasise.
Go on.
I just wanted to emphasise, like, just, you know, what we're trying to achieve and how, how we, I just want to emphasise it.
No, that's fair.
I'll jump in just to
really well.
I'll jump in there, Lee, as well. There's like a couple of projects that we've reached out to about planting trees with every sale of NFT that's sold. They also do sort of I'll say classes, but it's not really a class, where they actually book people to go to the location of where they're planting the trees and get them to be involved as well. So it's not just they've bought an NFT and then stuff. So we've talked as a team about possibly at some stage maybe arranging for some community members who actually want to give out physically and not just buying an NFT, and maybe give even the team ourselves to meet up with some of the community members and get involved in certain places of the world where we can all actually plant trees together and see what it's actually all about, rather than just, giving money's fine and paying for it's fine, but being hands-on and being involved in it to see what it's actually all about and feeling the reward of doing that for the planet is just something that you can't really buy with money. And especially if we can get a couple of community members to help out with that as well, just meeting them and having that experience together. I just don't think you can buy stuff like that, to be perfectly honest.
No, totally agree. And it's a similar thing with me. With, let's say, every year at Christmas, I decide that I'm going to take my son and we're going to cut our own Christmas tree down, because it's an experience of ownership of that memory. And then you're putting up something that you and your father and son have done together, then you put up and you decorate in your home together. It's a memory, right? Yeah. So I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to timestamp memories and get it valued every step of the way. And I hope that people buy into it and do that. Because I know there are a lot of people who are wanting such things in life, but they're looking for there to be good options which are affordable for them to get access to, because all good ideas and getting memories and stuff like walking around the woods with your dog and stuff like that, but staying away at these type of places are usually quite expensive. So how are you guys looking to kind of try to make it as accessible and as affordable as you can for families?
Well, that'll be by us being in control of it. And by us being able to open it up to everybody in the world, then that means there's more people that have the availability, to make that decision to come, which means that we can drive those costs down. Yeah. We've also got it's about accessibility at the end of the day.
Yeah. So what we're planning on doing is, the project doesn't just stop with NFTs with the 10,000 stags. We've actually got in total eventually we're going to have 20,000 NFTs released. So what's going to happen is it's going to be 10,000 stags, and then we're going to half that to 5,000, and we've got a new set coming out, but it's not stags, it's hunters. So it's kind of like a little flip between the stags and the hunters. So them hunters are going to be potentially based around people from the XRP community, you know, your people who are involved in the community, so different traits from that. Then there's going to be another set of NFTs released, which is going to be half of 5,000 if 2,500, and it's going to keep going until there's some that are very small amount of numbers. So one of the ways that we're going to allow discounts even further is if you own a stag, you get a discount. If you own a stag and a hunter, you get a further discount. And then obviously it just snowballs a little bit down further from there. But because Mike says that we're only going to have a community of X amount, so let's just say, for example, 10,000 people holding stags at one time, not everybody's going to be able to have the time off work to get there. So we are going to have free spaces where it will be empty. Now, we can charge the public at what a normal rate would be to stay in such a location that we've built, but then obviously pass that down to the NFT holders to get them a good discount off, because we're using the public to sort of cushion that. So we're trying our hardest to obviously do it as just family orientated as possible.
We've got so obviously that's in our roadmap as well. So the full, all the NFTs. The last three are project numbers. We're not going to disclose what they are or anything about it, so I'm going to park that there. But everyone that holds an NFT, the fact that the supply gets cut each time drives the rarity again. So you owning an NFT, we're hoping that adds value, like, to your actual NFT, so people can benefit through that way. But also we're going to hold a monthly competition.
Yeah.
So everyone that is an NFT holder is automatically entered into a competition to win a stay at a treehouse. And obviously when more locations become accessible, then whichever location they want in the world. And then they can take that whenever they want. Once they've won it, that is theirs in their back pocket to use whenever they want to. Now they haven't had to pay to stay, because their NFT has just become a ticket into a competition.
Yeah.
And then obviously we won't be able to do this straight away, though it's something we've discussed, and it's something that we will do, although it might only be able to do it to begin with once every 6 months, for example. We'll pay for your ticket too, and we'll get you there.
Plane ticket.
And then, you know, your plane ticket, your train ticket, whatever it takes, so that you can enjoy that moment with your family at a treehouse. So we've got so many plans, and as we keep working on it every day, our our phones are off the hook. Oh, I've had another idea.
Yeah, it's never stopping.
It's awesome. It's really exciting, really exciting.
I can only imagine how exciting time it is at the initial kind of concept of a project to then come into the actual deliverables of it, right? So I totally understand. I understand what Wild Stag Treehouse is now. I now want to find out a little bit more about you guys. So before Wild Stag Treehouse, what were you guys? What are you doing whilst it's being created? What was you doing before Wild Stag Treehouse?
I'll go first, Mike.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first,
Dave?
mate.
Yeah.
I've been a graphic designer, self-employed graphic designer for the last 12 years, just working for myself. Most people will know me through crypto Twitter as being in the XRP community for selling cryptos, the socks, and putting some socks on Brad Garlinghouse's feet, and David Schwartz's feet, and Michael Arrington's feet, and even Charles from Ada. He's had some Ada socks on his feet. So So most people have known me through that sort of side of Twitter, to be quite honest. Yeah. Mike?
Well, that's good. That's good. What about you, Mike?
I'm not going to go deep into anything, but for those that don't know, I'm a former military, so I've spent a lot of time away from home, and doing what it is that we do, which is one of the reasons why I'm so driven towards family since my little girl was born. And that's why this project is so important to me, because it's not just what I can do for the community, it's about what I can do for my own family. And now I'm utilised my trade that I got from my former career, and I just go around making stuff out of wood. Pretty much.
Well,
sometimes not very well as well.
I'm assuming in the treehouses, it's all the stuff's going to be handmade, knowing you as well, right? So I'm assuming you're going to make the beds, the wardrobes. I'd imagine everything's going to be made out of wood, right?
Anything that's green.
A lot of it's going to be wood. Yeah, there's a few structural components that may have to be out of some tougher material.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, absolutely.
We will definitely be using renewable sources the best we can.
No, yeah, that's great. That's great. So, in terms of how long have you guys been involved with the XRP community? I've obviously, you guys, we've known not known of each other, let's say, for a number of years. I've been in the community for 5 years. I'd be interested to see how long you guys have been in.
So I think we actually we got to know each other, didn't we, through a mutual friend, and that mutual friend is still a very, very good friend of mine, and he's the reason why I know the rest of the team that is in this in this project. But it's been about since 2000 and just at the end of the last bull run, 2017-18 time, probably about the same time that most of us were coming into it.
Yeah, I was mid 2017.
And yeah, my first project that I invested in actually wasn't XRP, it was Icon.
Oh wow!
And I didn't have a clue what I was doing. Someone turned around and said it's going to the moon, and it was like $3 a coin. I was like, right, okay, I'll buy some, sure. And then our mutual friend was like, right, all you need to know is buy XRP, do it now, don't worry about it, do your research later. And then about 6 months later, I started looking into it after filling my bags.
Well, we've all met in person. We've all met. Lee, we've met as well. We met at the Manchester crypto conference for who was it?
Oh wow, we did, didn't we?
Man. Yeah, we did. Yeah. That. Yeah, when you were on stage and stuff. But I was in
mate, honestly, I can't even remember yesterday, mate. So
yeah. Yeah, I was selling me crypto socks in the other room, and I packed up my stall and came in and watched you on the stage for us. You were what was it? I think you had a slideshow about.
That was
Vanguard?
The Vanguard, wasn't it?
Vanguard, I remember that.
That was the Vanguard episode.
Yeah,
that's the one where you basically put your heads on your own stakes, isn't it?
Yeah, that was one of the famous deep dives, but I no longer do anymore. So please don't turn up.
Yeah.
But no, they were interesting days for sure. That was a good event as well.
It was good.
Crypto days, weren't it?
Love for crypto. That's what I was thinking about. Yeah, but that was good, man.
No, that was a really good, because that was when the community was still quite young, and a lot of the, let's say, influential people within the space had probably 10, 15,000 kind of followers, and now you see these guys, they're like got 150, 250,000 subscribers and stuff like that. I'm thinking, gee, Jesus, this kind of space is really starting to get some exposure now. But yeah, let's forget about that. Let's go back onto memories, right? So you guys are all about creating memories with families, right? So name one moment which is your favourite family memory.
Okay. Mine's pretty straightforward, really, for me. I mean, which is obviously not going to go down too well with the wife because she's not actually involved in this story. So, one of the coolest traditions that we've had in our family is my eldest son from nursery up until just before COVID hit. On the last day of term every year, every dad in the year would turn up at school with the cars filled up with tents and camping gear, and we would just meet the mums at the school gates. The mums would say bye, all the dads, all the lads in the car, and we would just head and we'd just go camping for a weekend and come back. And that was like the start of the summer holidays every year until COVID hit, and we haven't done it since, unfortunately. But they bring some, when it's a bunch of your lads and dads for a weekend, and you've got slip and slides, and you've got rope swings, and you've just got beer and stuff like that. It's just, memories are just amazing. They're unreal.
Well, mine are actually, I have a new one every few days at the moment, because mine surround my daughter, and the most recent funny thing that she's done, which I absolutely love, my wife decided that it would be a really good idea to let my daughter, bear in mind my little girl, she's not even 2 yet, okay, she's 2 next month, to have 2 ice lollies before tea, and then we sit down for dinner. So naturally she didn't want to eat anything, so we're like convincing her, we're coercing her, we're making promises we know we're not going to be able to keep, and we were having shepherd's pie and broccoli. She ate all her broccoli. She then ate all of my wife's broccoli, her mummy's broccoli. I told her she wasn't eating my broccoli because I always give her my broccoli, and I wanted my broccoli that night. I finished my dinner and she took one look at me and she goes, "Good boy, Daddy, well done, you ate your dinner." I was just like, what? I didn't even know you knew half those words. And that's my favourite memory at the moment. It's just, love it. Best memory. And it's just such a great moment.
Great, and that's come straight from the heart, and I love it. Both of your points about memories, which is great. What I'm going to do, because it's relevant to you guys in your project, I'm going to share a memory that I've had. I've flown across the world, and I've been in some nice places, medium nice places, and some shitholes, basically, yeah? All over the world, right?
Yeah.
With my families, with my mates, by myself, been all over the world. However, there was, we went, we're going to stay away. We're going to try and change it up a little bit this time. And we decided to do glamping, right? Which was quite nice. Turned up, and it was like, do you know, like these big kind of tent things? And they've got a bathroom, they've got a bed, but
the ones that they have at festivals.
Like that. But the whole thing is that
the ones that they have at festivals for like the celebrities,
yeah, really. Yeah, that was kind of it. Yeah. So basically, I remember having this, and then it was really nice. And basically, what they had like I think it was about 30 of them all round in a big circle, so they're all facing one another, with a big fire pit right in the middle. But every kind of let's say tent had like this decking area out the front with seats and everything like that, yeah. And it was a real nice summer's evening, one of these evenings, and basically there was probably about 50 kids, I would say, and all the parents were sat out having a barbecue on the front patio of kind of their tents, which weren't really tents, they were fake tents. But all the kids were running around, everybody was having a drink, having fun, sharing stories, going over to each other's decking areas. And it was just one of those moments that I thought, wow, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
and you go away from little breaks like that, thinking that I've had some quality time, not only with my own family, but I've met some great families with a similar mindset.
Dropped out, Lee.
That it's all about their families, and that was such a nice break for us. And we actually come away quite relaxed. And as you guys will know with young children, right? Well, mine are not so young anymore because I'm getting on and I'm pretty old now.
Mine aren't too young.
Holiday, yeah? No? How old are yours?
12 and 6. 6 is a bit young, but I've got a 12-year-old.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, I've got a 11-year-old and a 17, nearly an 18-year-old, yeah.
All right, okay,
but what
yeah.
I mean by young is the toddler age.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
know, like when you fly out abroad, yeah, and you have to toddle around behind them just in case they fall over by the side of a pool and smash their head open, right? And then you can't take one eye off them because they can't swim, and they have these suit jacket, swimsuit things, which meant to keep them afloat, but they end up going head first in anyway, right? So basically, you come back from these holidays, well, so-called holidays, that aren't really holidays because you're just toddling around after your children, watching them all the time. It's stressful as heck. But when we went on these types of breaks, it was always a little less stressful because there was other children who were in the same area. It was the same thing, closed area where other parents were looking out for your kids as well. So that was really nice. That was really nice. But yeah, I'd imagine you've got a lot of stories to tell about your children, especially if they're starting to grow up a little bit more at 6 and 12.
Yeah. So one of the things that we try to do every year is we do waterfall hunting. So now my son's a little bit older now. We do waterfall hunting where once every summer we'll try and find a waterfall or just an old quarry that's now flooded, and we straight off the top and just sit there for a day as families and stuff and just jump off waterfalls and quarries and stuff into water. So we literally try and live as adventurous as we possibly can because of the way that kids are these days. Like, I mean, the funny thing I think about generations now is I don't remember walking anywhere when I was a kid. I don't remember it. I remember running. I remember being in a park. I remember playing football all the time. I remember just on my bike doing everything. And now my 12-year-old comes over to me and he's like, I've got a stitch. And I'm like, I didn't even know what a stitch was at that age. I just didn't get them. So we try to be as adventurous as we can. My son's actually at the beach now with a couple of other families jumping off the pier into the sea and stuff like that. So I'm kind of devastated I'm missing that. But listen, sometimes you've just got to miss it for more important things, don't you?
Absolutely. It's about getting that balance right between work and life.
Yeah.
And if you can take yourself away from that screen into, let's say, a location outside, then basically it kind of forces you to be in around your own family and giving them the priority that they deserve, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I love what you guys are setting out to achieve. I wish you every single success in the future, and it was an absolute pleasure talking about your project today, and I'll be fully supportive. And obviously I've known you guys for a while as well, which is it's good to see you guys coming to build some stuff with your hands and with NFTs.
Yeah.
And it was inevitable with Mike with his hands because he just builds stuff, right? And I just love where you go. But no, thank you ever so much for coming onto our show today. And I hope you, the listeners,
thank you for having us.
This open, honest conversation as well, which has been great. Is there any parting words that you guys want to say?
No, I just want to say thank you very much for having us on. We're really excited for obviously XLS 20 coming out, and I want to say thank you to Louis as well. I've had a few video chats with him, and that guy's just one of the nicest guys that I've spoke to in the space. I think he's actually a genuinely nice guy. So yeah, and obviously onXRP, thank you very much for hosting us, and we can't wait for the official launch of day one.
I just want to say the same. Thank you to onXRP for seeing our project and, you know, accepting us on board their platform. Thank you to you as well. Like, and that's at a personal level as well, not just for this video, but you know, over the years we've had some fantastic conversations, and those conversations eventually have led to now. And I just want to say thank you for that as well. Yeah.
Great. Well, over and out for this episode, and I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more from the Wild Stag Treehouse crew. See you guys.